guys, welcome back. It's Meridy here with Not Just for Boys Kit Club, and today I am going to give you the instructions on how to put together the Sunshine on My Mind page kit by Not Just for Boys Kit Club. And I just love this one. This is one of my favorite kits and one of my favorite layouts that I've done in a really long time. So let me start out by telling you what's included in this kit. You're gonna get one title cut that says Sunshine, the little dot there, the little dot of the eye. You're going to get one of these P13 Sunshine word stickers. They say all kinds of stuff about sunshine, travel, summer in the city, we are here, summer memories, fun in the sun, weekend adventures, the best food ever, collect moments, not things. There's all kinds of sayings on this one. You're going to get one P13 alphabet, and it's called Christmas Treats. It's like a lime green color, and it's an alphabet with uppercase and lowercase alphabets. You're gonna get one pack of floral bits from Simple Stories Simple Vintage Coastal line. And there are so many good things. There's 43 pieces in here, and I just love them. There's all kinds of different things. There are pineapples and a few flowers and a lot of palm trees and just greenery, some more flowers, pineapples. That's basically what it mostly is. Pineapples, palm trees, greenery, and flowers, because it's the floral bits. So, and I just think it's so awesome. You are going to get the following papers. You're gonna get one sheet of P13 Sunshine number 4 paper. It has cameras on the front and little treble tags on the back. You're going to get one sheet of the Farm Life by Minte, and it's paper number 4. It's yellow gingham on one side and white weathered wood on the other. You're going to get one sheet of 49 and Market Vintage Artistry Beached Palm paper. So it's got palm trees on one side and this like newsprint text on the other, all about beachy, summery vibes. You're gonna get one sheet of Ella and Vive Dragonfly paper called Good Vibes, and it's like this corally, purpley blue wood grain on one side and like a coral and purple chevron on the other side. Then you're gonna get one sheet of Echo Park Designer Solids paper from My Favorite Easter, and it's yellow and pink. That's the color of that. And then 2 sheets of white cardstock, and 1 sheet of color instructions will be in your kit. And on the back of those instructions is a cutting guide, and it is going to tell you all of the cuts that you need to make for all of these various papers. There's quite a few cuts on this layout, quite a few pieces. So pay close attention when you're cutting. You know, it's got the guides on there and the pictures so you can see exactly where to cut. But I'm going to go cut all these down to the correct sizes, and I will be back. See you in a minute. Hi guys, okay, I have all of my papers cut, and as you may know from previous videos, instead of photographs on my layout, I use white pieces of cardstock that take the place of the photographs when I'm making my videos. So that's what these are going to be, is these are going to represent our photos. And there's 5 3x4 photos. 2 of them are portrait orientation, 3 of them are landscape orientation, but you can adjust that to fit whatever photos you have that works for your pictures. Now, what I did do is trim these photos down a little bit smaller than 3x4. I trimmed about 1/4 inch off of one side, or you can trim 1/8 inch off. I trimmed 1/4 inch off 2 sides, or you could trim just a little bit, like 1/8 inch off all 4 sides, just so that they're a little bit smaller than 3x4, because what you're gonna wanna do is mat them, and it's just so much easier to mat the pictures. Like, they just fit so much nicer when they're just a little bit smaller than 3x4, because then there's plenty of room to mat down a strip of paper. So I'm gonna go mat these on this yellow paper. You could also use the coral side if you wanted, but I'm gonna use the yellow side, and I will be right back. So you can see here that I've got my photos matted, and we're kind of gonna work on both sides of the page at once, just because there's a little mixed media involved in this, and a a lot of layers on these layouts. So I'm going to set out both white pieces of paper. And I'm just gonna plop these here. I'm gonna move my photos out of the way because we don't need those right this second. And then I'm gonna set the other background white piece of paper. And then we've got a bunch of layers. So let me make sure that these are all good in frame. All right, now we can work from here. So what we're going to do first is not adhere anything down to the back because we're going to do some mixed media on the background, but I do want to get everything in the correct place. So we're just going to start making our layers of the papers and kind of get everything going in the right areas. Just about like this. And then I am going to adhere these layers to each other just because it's going to be way easier for me to pick up this whole stack and move it than it is to try to pick up all these layers that are all alone. So I am going to adhere things together just to kind of get them in one big piece. It will be so much easier when it comes to moving things around. And then we're gonna adhere our pictures onto the top of this too. Just so it's just one easy piece to move back and forth. So I'll adhere those just like this. And then we're gonna do the same exact thing to the right-hand side of the layout. When you're going through your papers and trying to lay this all out, please know that this paper is double-sided. So if you're looking for a piece from your cuts that are laid out in the directions and you don't see it, just flip the paper over because it's probably on the back side of something. Okay, so let's lay this one out next. And this piece right here is going to overlap onto both pages, so we can just cut it about 1 inch off of one side. So I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. And then when it comes time to adhere the whole thing down, 1 inch will be on this half and the rest will be over here. And again, I'm going to adhere all these things together with the photos on top at the end. So because I want it to be easy to maneuver. Actually, I'm gonna put this down a little. I'm doing this part on the video so that when you're doing this at home, you can kind of see how the pieces are fitting together, because it's almost like a little puzzle here. And hopefully this will help you get your layout together and everything going in the right direction and the right area. Okay, so that's gonna go like that, and then there's two pictures on top of this. Put one. And then we're gonna do the exact same thing with the last little grouping down at the bottom. Let's see. Can't get that one wood grain one in the right place. There we go. That looks pretty good. And then we're gonna do the same thing down here. This goes in the back. And then this piece, we're gonna trim it. We don't need it to be super long. I'm just gonna trim it approximately, probably about, I trimmed about 2 inches off the bottom. And that can go right here. Like this. Okay, and then we can start adhering these layers down. Okay, that's much better. Okay, yeah, these are like little puzzles, how I laid them out. It was a lot of layers going on. And then this little one gets one picture. About that. Okay, so now that we know where these are going on our page, and they're so much easier to maneuver, we're gonna add some mixed media underneath. So we're going to start with I used fossilized amber distress oxide ink. And what I did is I made it look like it was coming out from underneath the corners of the pictures. So I used this kind of blending tool, but you can use any blending tool that you have. And I saw where my picture lies, and then I moved down and I just gently brushed on some ink. And if you don't brush super hard, if you just do it really gently, it goes really, really smoothly on. And I want this one to come all the way down to the bottom so that it's all the way behind this. I want it to show all of these places. So this is quite a large area to ink. And some places you can make it darker in layers, keep piling the ink on, and then lighter on the edges. So it's kind of an ombre effect. Until you get exactly where you want it. And then we'll move on to the next area that we want to put some of this. So move my little piece back. Yeah, that looks pretty good, I think. I'm gonna put a little bit more right here so that corner doesn't, there. Okay, and now I'm gonna put a little in this spot that's showing right here too. Okay, now I just want a tiny little bit peeking out down here, so I don't need very much. Just probably one. Yeah, I like that. And then I want some up here, and I want it to go pretty tall up there, and I want it to come all the way down to here. But you could do this however you want. You don't have to put it in the exact same places that I'm putting it in. You don't even have to use the same color if you don't want to use yellow. This kit is so colorful. You could use just about any color in this kit. there's really a lot to work with in terms of color here. So whatever, I love yellow. And then the name of this kit is Sunshine on My Mind, so the yellow really, I really wanted to use the yellow. Okay, that's pretty good. Now we're gonna come do the same thing on this other side. So we'll pretend like these are adhered. And I'm gonna put it basically like all around this edge, down here and down to there, and then I'm gonna put another one down here. So I'm gonna kind of do the exact same thing, but I'm gonna speed this up so you don't have to watch this side. And so I'm gonna have all the yellow right here and another blob of the yellow over here. So I'll be back in just a second. Okay, so now I have got all of these, all the yellow done, and now we can adhere these big blocks of layers. I'm gonna start on this page. I'm gonna just adhere one down here. It's pretty straight. And then I'm gonna do this side first before I do this little piece, so I make sure that it will fit correctly. And I just will butt this all the way up to the edge, like the seam of the page right here. And then I could come back in with this little piece and put it exactly next to there. Okay, and then we can put this chunk down. And then the next step is going to be, you know, I think that we will add embellishments next. So what I did is I cut out of this camera paper, I cut out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different cameras out of this camera paper. And I just fussy cut those 6. And I'm gonna go fussy cut 6 cameras and I will be right back. Okay, I've got my cameras fussy cut and I'm going to lay them out approximately where they're going to go on this page. And then the next thing we're gonna do is grab our ephemera pack, this Simple Stories, Simple Vintage Coastal pieces. And there are quite a bit of pieces in here. So I'll just show you the ones that I used. I used a big flower bunch there. I used a little one there. I used a single one right there. I thought I used this one, but no, I did not. Okay, I used a pineapple and this piece of greenery. Tucked pretty good in there. I used a flower like that. I used another single flower there. I'm just putting off to the side the pieces that I didn't go to use. Let's see, I think I used that. I didn't use that big one. I used a palm tree up here. A couple white flowers down here. I did use another pineapple. Possibly over there. One of these guys. I used both leaves here. I did use this flower after all, right there. Let's see. There are so many pieces in here. You'll have plenty to make other kits and layouts, or other kits, I'm sorry, other layouts out of your kit, because there's really just a lot of pieces in here. but it's awesome because there's lots to pick from to use. And like I said, you don't need to use the same ones that I'm using. But this, I think, about does it. Oop. I used one of these little banana trees. This one, I think. Yeah. Okay, let me make sure I've got this all. This looks like what I used. That's good. This, oh, I need a little flower right here. I used one of these. Okay, once we got all these kind of, I use this white one, kind of laid out, we can start adhering them down. And I just started in the back, and I just made sure, you know, everything kind of looked pretty good before I started adhering things down. And then I just went for it. And started gluing it down. And I did put some things, so like basically the top layer of every one of your little clusters here, I popped up with dimension so that they were popping off the page a little. So I'll show you what I mean. So all of these on this little cluster right here that I'm doing, I've put flat on the page. And then this camera goes on top, and so I popped him up. So it's like that. And then he's a little bit dimensional. I did the same here. I adhered everything down flat to the page unless it was on a top layer. So this camera right here, I popped up because it's overlapping. And then everything else just went flat down. And I just layered pieces and tucked pieces underneath. I had lots of fun with all these layers when I was making this layout. And then these little trio of flowers here will get put on dimensional adhesive also. These right here, because they're the top. I'm not putting a ton of adhesive on these for this video, guys, because I don't want you to sit here just watching me tape things down. So in real life, I would put a little bit more dimensional adhesive on there. Okay, so these two little leaves right here, they are going off the other page. Like they're over the seam. See the seam of the pages right there? So we'll tape them down to this side of the layout, and I'm gonna get everything else taped down to this side of the layout. This little flower I put up on dimensional adhesive. I need to cut it in half, it's too big. My adhesive there. Oop. And then to get those two little leaves on the right page, we're just going to pick this up, trim them off. We'll put this back down. And then I'm just going to finally put adhesive on this side and line it up exactly where we trimmed it. So it looks like they're just going on to the other side of the page. I hope that makes sense. See? And then over here, I again will put most everything flat down, but I am going to pop this guy up. Right here. Get these layers. Ooh. Just wedge some things underneath. And then I am going to also pop up this pink flower because it's on the very top. Right about there, because that's on the very top. And then moving on, we'll start with the bottom layers here. If you don't want to watch me adhere every single layer like this, you might want to just fast forward a little, because all I'm doing right now is just adhering all these layers. And it just takes a few minutes, but I wanted you to see where things went, just so you can repeat this on your own. I think I did not use this giant flower. I think I used this smaller flower. Yeah, this one is too big. There, that's a little more to scale with everything we've got going on here. And then this little guy goes up on adhesive. We're almost done with these little clusters. But these are what makes the layout look nice, in my opinion, is all of the little layers. And we'll pop this camera up. Okay. Now, before we put the title on here, we can add, there are phrase stickers. So whatever phrase stickers fit with your pictures, you should use. The ones that I used are, this is exciting, is right there, and sun-kissed is down here, and I just kind of wedged them under the layers. Sun-kissed is down there. Collect moments, not things, I wedged right in here. Summer memories, I put up here. Sometimes I cut the ends off, like sometimes these ends are a little long. I just didn't want them overlapping my picture so much, so I cut the little ends off. Let's see, I used the word relax. Oh, there it is. I used the word relax right there. And then remember, I put right here. And hot beach cold drinks. And again, I cut the ends off of this one. Just the plain, it didn't have any letters on it because it was kind of too long for the little space that I had right there, if I would have left these little ends on. Okay, so we got the stickers. And the next thing that we're gonna do, still before we finish up our title, is some splatters, if you would like. I used grapefruit shimmers ink, but you could use watercolor or mist or anything like that that you'd like. And I activated this with water before I started doing this video. I'm gonna dump a little in here because it's kind of a lot of water that I put in there. I activated it with water first and let it sit, and then I will take a paintbrush and just put some splatters on here. Just tapping it against a pen here. If you have mist, you can pull the little, take the lid off the mist, so you've got the little tube, and do the same technique with the little end of the mist. But I like the little added splatters. If you don't like mixed media or you don't like doing splatters, obviously, just don't do this part. Not everyone likes this or this look, but if you do like it, I think it looks great on this layout. Okay, so I am going to put these off to the side now to dry. Oh, sorry, I had to fix that. Okay, I'm gonna put these off to the side to dry while we work on our title, because we need to do a little bit of altering to our title. So I've got my title here. It says Sunshine, and there is a dot to the I, and it's white, obviously. And I'm gonna ink mine up in an ombre look. I'm using Distress Oxide Abandoned Coral for this, and another brush just like this. And I'm gonna start at the bottom, and I want the bottom of my word to be darker than the top of my word. So I'm gonna do a few layers of ink on the bottom, and then I'm just gonna barely get the top with like the residual ink that's on here. So it's lighter on the top. I'm gonna do a couple letters and show you, and then I'm gonna do the rest off camera because this takes a few minutes. It's not exciting to watch, but so, and then I just keep adding layers on the bottom to make the bottom darker. Okay, see how the bottom, let me hold it on the white, the bottom goes and is darker than the top. And I wanna make it blended as much as possible in that. So I'm gonna turn off the camera and finish this word, and I will be right back. Alrighty, so my title is done and my dot of my I, and I'm gonna pop it up on dimensional adhesive to adhere this down to my layout. I'm gonna do that off camera too, but I do like it to be popped up. Just it adds a little more dimension to my layout. So I'm gonna go do that and get all this adhesive on the back, and I will be right back. Okay, we ran into some technical difficulties, and my camera died while I was filming how to put your title on. And rather than ripping the whole title off this page and destroying underneath it, I decided I will just tell you what I did, and I won't be able to show you what I did. So the first thing that I did, of course, you already knew, I put the word sunshine on dimensional adhesive and the dot for the I, and I put that approximately where I wanted it to be. I didn't adhere it down quite yet. Then I used a Thicker's alignment guide, but you can also use wax paper, and I put out my little subtitle. So my title is Sunshine and Good Times. You could name your kit all sorts of things like Sunshine on My Mind, Sunshine on My Shoulder, Sunshine and Good Times. You could just make it just be Sunshine. You are my sunshine. You are the sunshine of my life. All kinds of things. But I picked Sunshine and Good Times, and I kind of wanted it to squeeze as close together as possible, but this S comes down kind of low. So I decided I wanted the space between the word good and times to be right where this S loops down low. So I put down the word sunshine, then I put down my subtitle times, and then I spelled the word good backwards, working around this loop for the S. So I started with the D-O-O-G, and then I left a space, a D-N-A. So sunshine and good times, and that's how I laid it all out. And you can put journaling in all kinds of places on this layout. There's all kinds of empty spaces that are good for journaling. I put my date stamp down here. And this wraps up this layout. Our design team, you're gonna see some still shots and close-up shots of all these embellishment clusters at the end of this video. And you also have a photo of this layout on your instructions that came with your kit. You can refer back to our website under at notjustforboyskitclub.com underneath the listing of the kit Sunshine and Good Times, and you'll see still close-up pictures, still pictures and close-up pictures on our listing on our website. We always leave the listings up so that when you're working on your kit later, even if the kit's sold out, you can still go back to our website and search for the name of the kit and see all the pictures. Our design team is going to be working with this kit, but they're going to be making their own unique layouts. They're not going to follow my instructions, so they'll give you some other ideas of how to use this exact kit and do different things with it. And they share those on Instagram and on our Not Just for Boys Kit Club community group, which is, if you're not a member of our Kit Club community, we would love for you to join us. You can also share pictures of your layouts on there, either if you make them just like this or if you do your own thing. We love seeing all of that and sharing work. Let's see, I think that's about it. Thank you guys, and I will see you next time. Bye.